Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL buzz lately, you've probably heard some whispers coming out of Ohio. Rumors that the Cincinnati Bengals, currently sitting at 6-7 with an offense that's been pretty inconsistent, are eyeing a major move. And I mean a move that could shake the entire NFC West and send shockwaves through the NFL. The buzz is that Cincinnati is considering trading T. Higgins, their versatile and explosive wide receiver, in exchange for some draft picks and a cornerback, all to free up around $22 million in cap space for a rebuild on their defensive line. It's a bold move, no doubt, but one that makes a lot of sense given their current struggles. The Bengals are facing a lot of issues, injuries, especially on the offensive line, a defense ranking just 22nd in points allowed, and a cap situation that's tightening up with Higgins at 26, set to get a hefty extension worth around $30 million. They're seemingly prioritizing their trenches, looking to bolster that defense after a rough start. Meanwhile, Cincinnati's offense, despite having Joe Burrow leading the way, is not quite firing on all cylinders, and that's a big reason why they're scouting options like Higgins, who's been producing solid numbers this year. So what does this mean for the Seahawks? Well, if Higgins lands in Seattle, it could be a game changer. Higgins' profile is just what the Seahawks need right now. With nearly 10 yards on 72 receptions this season, averaging 14 yards per catch, Higgins is a dynamic threat that stretches the field and adds a new dimension to the offense. His ability to make contested catches with a 62% success rate and his yards per route run, over 2-1, places him among the top wideouts in the league. And his career stats: over 80 yards and 50 touchdowns, with an elite EPA per target of plus 0.30, which is right up there with the best in the league. This guy's a real playmaker, and he's exactly the kind of weapon that can complement Jackson Smith-Njigba and Rashid Shaheed, both of whom the Seahawks acquired recently, giving the offense a true deep threat. Think about the possibilities with Geno Smith back there, spreading the field, or with Sam Darnold, who's been doing a pretty solid job of leading the offense when called upon. Higgins' deep threat ability would open up the middle of the field, creating more space for Smith-Njigba and Shaheed to work their magic. And let's not forget, Higgins' impact on the Bengals has been significant this season. Even with some injury setbacks, like his shoulder injury in Week 4, he still managed to rack up impressive numbers, 77 yards per game, with multiple 20-plus yard catches, including a standout 10-catch, 142-yard performance against the Steelers in Week 9. His size, standing at 6'4" and weighing around 219 pounds, makes him a matchup nightmare for defenders. His comparison to Mike Evans, especially with his deep targets and contested catch ability, shows just how valuable he can be in an offense that's looking to push the ball down the field. The Bengals, battling cap restrictions and injury woes, are looking to rebuild and prioritize their trenches after an underwhelming start, which makes trading Higgins a plausible move. Now, for the Seahawks, this isn't just about adding another receiver. It's about elevating the entire offense. The Seahawks are already sitting at 10-3, with a solid defense and an offense that's been performing well, but they've lacked that true game-breaking wide receiver who can take the top off defenses and make big plays in critical moments. Higgins could do just that. His addition could turn third downs into guaranteed conversions, boost the passing game's efficiency, and make Seattle's offense even more explosive. With Higgins' stats, including an average of 77, 7 yards per game and multiple 20-plus yard receptions, you can see how he would fit seamlessly into the Seahawks scheme. Plus, his ability to make contested catches and excel deep down the field would help elevate the passing game's overall efficiency, something that's already been good, but could get even better with a player of Higgins' caliber. Looking ahead, the odds of the Seahawks making a Super Bowl push would increase significantly with a move like this. Higgins' overall grade of 87, 6 from PFF, His elite contested catch rate and his yards per route run make him a perfect fit for the Seahawks offense. Seattle's passing game, which has already been among the top in the league, could become even more lethal. The addition of Higgins could push the Seahawks' aerial yards per game higher by around 280 yards, and with an estimated 100 yards projected for Higgins alone, the offense becomes a real nightmare for defenses. Imagine the field stretches, the defenses struggling to cover everyone, and Geno Smith or Darnold having even more options to pick apart the secondary. And don't forget, the Seahawks have been steadily improving their third down efficiency, which was around 43% earlier in the season and is now trending toward 58%. Higgins' ability to make contested catches and his deep route efficiency would only boost those numbers, making it easier for the Seahawks to sustain drives and keep defenses on their heels. This kind of offensive explosion could propel Seattle into the playoff favorites, especially as they aim for a deep postseason run. And if you're looking at the bigger picture, the Super Bowl odds are already favorable, but acquiring a player like Higgins could push those odds from plus 800 to plus 500, especially considering the mismatch potential he brings in the playoffs. Of course, there are some questions and risks involved. Cincinnati's cap situation, injuries, and the overall rebuild process make trading Higgins a complex decision, but the potential reward: an offensive arsenal that becomes nearly unstoppable. Higgins could be the X factor that takes Seattle from a solid team to a true contender, especially in the high-stakes playoff environment. His experience, stats, and ability to elevate the game make him a perfect addition as the Seahawks gear up for the postseason. Now, wrapping it all up, this move could be the spark that ignites a new era of Seahawks football. The team's offensive core already looks promising, but adding Higgins would give them that extra spark, that missing piece to truly challenge for the title. The Seahawks are known for their innovative offense and resilient spirit, and Higgins could be the catalyst that pushes them over the edge, making a deep playoff run not just a dream, but a very real possibility. Remember, in the NFL, it's about who has the best talent and the best game plan, and right now, Seattle's window for greatness is wide open. This potential trade is exactly the kind of bold move that could define the franchise's future. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So Seahawks fans, keep your eyes peeled because the coming weeks could bring some serious fireworks. Whether this trade becomes a reality or remains just a rumor, one thing is for sure: the Seahawks are always looking to get better. And a move like acquiring T. Higgins would send a clear message that Seattle is all in on contending now and for years to come. The division is getting tougher, no doubt, but with strategic moves and a deep roster, the Seahawks have the talent and the mindset to stay ahead and chase that elusive Lombardi trophy. The road to the Super Bowl is never easy, but with players like Higgins potentially joining the squad, the journey just got a whole lot more exciting. As always, the Seahawks Nation remains hungry, optimistic, and ready to support their team through thick and thin. We're building something special here, and any addition that boosts the offense's firepower is a step closer to that ultimate goal, bringing another championship back to Seattle. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. Do you think a trade for T. Higgins makes sense? Would you be excited to see him in the blue and green? How do you see this impacting the team's chances in the postseason? Share your ideas, your predictions, and your passion. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seahawks news. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for our beloved Seahawks. Keep the faith, stay loud, and as always, GOHAWKS.